race 3, and it's a reverse grid of the finishing order in race number 2. So that sees Frank Amoroso up the front, Marcus Prilwitz alongside, green flag waves, and it's Amoroso who's going to jump through to the lead ahead of Prilwitz. Robbie Fern on the inside of Craig Yardy, who runs very wide off into the grass, keeps his foot buried to the floor, and manages to rejoin the racetrack by the looks of it without incident. Tringali electing to start at the back of the field, probably due to his inexperience. Amoroso, your leader ahead of Prilwitz, Fern, then Smith, Yardy, Lachlan, Fern, and Stephen Zammit in behind Barry Butwell. The two fast drivers coming through from the back are going to have a lot of work to do, as we see Amoroso coming under a bit of pressure from Prilwitz through the top end complex. He looks to try and do the switch back to get the nice run out of turn number 7. And Amoroso with the flamboyant sideways style that we've become so used to seeing throughout his career, out of turn 7, but still gets a pretty good run onto the back straight. And he will lead the way on lap number 1. So Frank Amoroso out in front. We haven't said that for a while. Last time Amoroso took a Supertruck race victory was back in his championship winning year of 2014. He's got the lead at the moment, but he's also got some fast trucks that will be coming through as Robbie Fern gets it very loose through turn number 1. That's going to allow Shannon Smith up on the inside. But Robbie Fern will have the inside for the next corner. Turn number 3, the sweeper, and he holds on to that position ahead of Smith, who has both Barry Butwell and Stephen Zammit breathing down his neck. These reverse grid races always produce plenty of action. The two light trucks battling it out at the back of the field. So Craig Yardy with that wide moment on the first lap and slips back into the clutches of Lachlan Fern. So it's now a genuine on-track contest between the two Isuzu drivers for light truck honours, and Robbie Fern's going to get muscled out by Barry Butwell. At turn 7, Butwell goes through, so does Stephen Zammit. Zammit, ever the opportunist, with a great run. Out of turn number 7, he'll be down the inside of Butwell into turn 8. Side by side they go. Butwell trying to hold on, not able to do it, and Shannon Smith and Barry Butwell both go off the road. And Shannon Smith's going to go cross-country at turn number 10 and rejoin on the start-finish line. He'll drop some spots out of that. In fact, he'll drop in behind the light truck brigade. And all of this battling for position has allowed Frank Amoroso and Marcus Prilwitz to clear away out in front. The big beneficiary in terms of making up positions, though, was Stephen Zammit, because he has capitalised on all of that bumping and grinding to move up into third position, and he's now got some clear track at his disposal to start chasing after our two race leaders. So Amoroso still holding on from Prilwitz, who's struggled a bit with speed this weekend, but looking a bit more racy now that he's got a bit of clear track, but not sure that it's going to be enough to hold out Stephen Zammit. Faint racing entry continues to lead, and Zammit right on the tail of Prilwitz now as they head through turns 8, 9 and 10 to complete another lap. Amoroso just needs to keep doing what he's doing, keep his head down, keep punching out the fast lap times. Zammit up the inside and goes through to second on the inside of Prilwitz at turn 1. So Zammit's come from the back of the grid up into second position. Seen Zammit win races from the back of the field before. And he's got one more driver left to try and pass, and that is Frank Amoroso. Further back, it's busy. Look at this. Robbie Fern, Barry Butwell, Craig Yardy's just ahead of those two, and Lachlan Fern is just behind them. It's very, very tight indeed in the mid-pack. Shannon Smith managed to pull ahead of that dice. Butwell will no doubt be looking to try and make some spots before we get to the end of this race. And Zammit has caught Amoroso, so the battle is on for the lead. What we know about Frank Amoroso, though, is that he can make his Supertruck very, very wide indeed. And he will ensure that his Kenworth rival Stephen Zammit has to work very hard to get past. Look at that, driving down the inside on the run into turn 8, taking the defensive line to make sure that Zammit had no opportunity to get past. Still a few laps left for Zammit to try and find an opportunity. He looks to the outside of Amoroso at turn 1. Trying to do the switchback, but Amoroso will wait to it. Covers to the inside at turn 2. Slows it up in the mid-corner to stop Zammit from getting the switchback. Zammit ranges up on the outside, heading into the sweeper, but again, he's going to be on the wrong side of the road. And Amoroso just holds on to the position. And what will happen here if these two start battling, it'll invite others into the contest as well. Zammit again trying a shallower approach to try and do a switchback manoeuvre down the inside. Amoroso, all of those years of experience, doing his best to hold Zammit off. At what point does Zammit get frustrated? At what point do we maybe start to see a bit of contact? It's been very clean between the two of them so far. Zammit, good run off turn number 7, and Amoroso edges him across to the grass. Almost side-by-side contact between the two Kenworths, and it's Amoroso who, amazingly, still manages to hold on to the lead. And just behind this dueling pair, Shannon Smith has caught Marcus Prilwitz as well, so we've got a battle for first and second. We've got a battle for third and fourth. Smith looking to the outside of Prilwitz as we head into the final lap. And a bit further back in the pack, as we see that, yes, Shannon Smith has got down the inside of Marcus Prilwitz at turn 1. So Shannon Smith up into position number 3. And then it's Craig Yardy ahead of Robbie Fern, ahead of Barry Butwell, a cracking battle on the fringe of the top 5. Craig Yardy, once again, a superb job for him in the light truck to hold out the more powerful machines. Can Amoroso hold on heading into this final lap? He's only got about half a lap to hold out Stephen Zammit. He's driven superbly so far. Out of turn number 7 they come. Zammit again looking to get the better run out of the corner, and Amoroso again edging him sideways into the grass and holding on to the lead. Through the final 3 corners they come, and for the first time since 2014, it's going to be the Fate Racing Kenworth of Frank Amoroso that crosses the finish line in first position. Amoroso wins race number 3 at Winton Motor Raceway in an absolute thriller. Stephen Zammit in second position, Shannon Smith in third spot, and then it was Prilwitz, Craig Yardy, the best of the light trucks in fifth, Robbie Fern, Barry Butwell, Lachlan Fern, and Anthony Tringali rounding out the finishes. And once again, we managed to get all 9 of our trucks to the finish line. Great to see from all of the guys. That was an absolute belter of a race. Let's catch up with some of the drivers in the pits to find out what they thought about it, including our winner, Frank Amoroso, along with Shannon Smith, Barry Butwell, and Marcus Prilwitz.
We won that. I was quite happy to see the checkered flag at the end there. We got going off the first, second row of the grid, whatever it was, and I just kept my nose clean. And Steve had a pretty quick truck there, but I knew that I could pull it in a drag race, so I just went in and at my pace and didn't look at the bother looking in the mirror and collected the checkered flag, so she was good.
We had a good start off the line there, but Barry and I looked up in the first top end there and sort of nudged me off. I think he got nudged off, didn't quite see what happened. We got back online and I tried to get around him at the end of the straight. We both didn't fit around the corner and we both went plough and paddock. So
it was a bit rough out there, a bit tough. There's a lot of trucks that are close together and it just depends on your luck how you get through the traffic, and this time it was a bit unfortunate for me. We just tangled up a bit with Shannon and just could not make up the time back after that. So see how the next one goes.
I think I had a good drive. I was happy with my drive. You know, obviously the further up the front you are, the happier you'll be. But I was happy with how the truck went and how I drove it. So yeah, as Frank Amoroso says, when the helmet goes on, the horns come out. And Winton, you've got to drive cleanly and smoothly to be fast. So in actual fact, it feels like you're slow.
He's got to try and catch Zammit. He's the best one out there at the moment. So it's our yardstick.